is, what it do, and how the hell are all of you? It's yours truly, Petra, fucker, back with another mother lover. You already know the deal. Grab your smoke, grab your drink and lock in with your boy, because we back for another one. Totally had to take a little bit of time. I had a family member that passed from cancer. I just needed to cope and get over it, and, you know, they in a better place, so they want me to do the show and get it on, moving it onwards, upwards. You already know what it is, so we got a bigger article. We got a bigger episode coming out today. With so much going on in the news, I don't necessarily think I want to keep breaking them down into little episodes, this, that, that. I like to really do the long ones and really get in on that shit and really paint a picture, you know what I'm saying? Now, that being said, a lot has been going on in the news. I mean, Kyle Rittenhouse finally got out on a $2 million cash bond. The left was mad because My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell, and then Ricky Schroeder, an actor, put up enough money to just put Rittenhouse's bond over, so he had basically what he needed to get out. So Rittenhouse out here, he got up out that jam. At least he got bonded up out that jam. He ain't in the jail no more, so he still got a case to fight, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I guess we'll see how that pans out, but I already know the left mad that he got out. They big mad that he got out. Big mad. It's okay to put free whoever on your shirt, but it can't be free Rittenhouse. Can't be that though. Oh hell no, it can't be that though. Funny how that shit works, man. It really is. Now, knowing that he got out, that's going to set uproars all over this, that, the other. You know, they're already mad. Left is already still mad. They got to find a reason to be mad now. So it's like they targeting smaller conservative individuals, this, that, the other, because they're like, well, Trump's up out the office anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to have to go after everybody else. That's how I think they think. Now, granted, this is just my opinion, but I mean, it kind of close. You know what I'm saying? Now, Rittenhouse still claims that it was self-defense in the shooting. So, you know, they mad that he claimed it's self-defense. But my personal belief is you shouldn't run up on someone that has a rifle. You shouldn't try to jump somebody that has a rifle. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Yeah. I normally wouldn't chase down someone that has a gun. Just what it's not in my, I guess it's not in me as it was in them to do that. But I guess that mob mentality, they really think they're going to be able to do whatever you want. Yeah. You know, people are going to be mad about that shit. You know, just like this. This is even more fucked up. Donald Trump Jr. got COVID, man. They was wishing him death just like they wished his daddy death. But yeah, they want to preach that they're the party of tolerance and the party of civility. Get the fuck out of here. Nonsensical, fam. Nonsensical bullshit. They like a bunch of clowns with no collars. They a bunch of clowns without a circus just running rampant with a keyboard. That's really what I think, man. They got a keyboard, so they're going to go ham with it. Yeah. Really kind of funny to me, man. Now, talking about the left, Biden got in office, or hopes to get in office, right? That's his hope. I've talked about it before. He came out and he said the black people got him. He has the black people's back, and they got his, he's got theirs, right? Well, Black Lives Matter took that as a literal, you need to pay up now. Amongst hundreds of other groups that are calling for, progressive groups that are calling for Biden to do their bidding, because, come on now, they want him to do their bidding. Obviously, if he is the president-elect, if he is going to be president, why would you not want him to be implementing your bills? Obviously, the Senate and Congress probably aren't going to hear you out. Nor did they say they got your back, like Biden did. Biden fucked himself with what he said. In my personal opinion. And as a politician, I don't think he's going to pull through with what he said, but I think the people that, I think BLM, Patrice Kohlers and other activists, oh yeah, they're going to damn sure try to make him pull through with what he said. They're going to damn sure try to get him to push what they want. Guaranteed. Now, Patrice Kohlers calls for Biden to implement the Breathe Act that was drafted by AOC plus 3, not AOC and Ilhan, but Rashida Tlaib and Ayanna Pressley. They drafted this act called the Breathe Act, and it would ruin America, believe you me. Now, Biden's a moderate. Biden is a moderate. Now, the left might not like that, but his voting record says he's a moderate. Well, a racist moderate at that, but nonetheless, he's a moderate. He's not really too far left. He's definitely not as far left as Kamala is. Definitely not as far left as Bernie, but hey, they're trying. But we digress, right? Now, one of the things is, you got AOC and Jennifer Rubin talking about that list, right? But AOC and them are also okaying Biden's lockdown. And Biden wants to, he's talking about he's going to be okay with the scientists, if they want to lock it all down, this, that, the other. AOC believes that people that are affected because of the lockdown should be paid to stay home. That's really what she thinks. She doesn't think places should be open. She believes businesses should be paying for people to stay home, or the government should be. Now, AOC is nuts, so that doesn't really surprise me that that's what she thinks. But AOC is one of the people that's going to push her beliefs on Biden and want Biden to put them in office. Believe you put those, not in office, but put what her bills, her agendas, her drafts, whatever in play. That's what she's hoping Biden will do because of Kamala Harris. Now that's at least how I see it. Now I could be wrong, but that's how I see it. Now, the Dems lost a lot of seats in this last runaround election. They lost a lot more seats. They thought there was going to be a blue wave. They thought they were going to keep the House. They thought they were going to get the Senate. They were for sure they were going to get the presidency by a landslide. That's what they were sure about. They were wrong on all fronts. Now the Senate, they really need the Senate now. They really need Georgia to vote both senators in order to pass the legislation that they're going to want passed, in order to put the bills through that they want put through. They're going to need the Senate to be blue, and I don't think that's going to happen. Now they got every powerhouse on both sides in Georgia right now, fighting for both sides. The Republicans got their heavy hitters out there. The Democrats got their heavy hitters. Oh, they ain't pulling no strings on this one. Believe you me. Now I don't know how many people would have actually thought that it was going to come down to just a few states. I sure the fuck didn't think it was going to come down to that. But now, the Dems lost the seats, but that was before the House had to do with redistricting. The GOP controls the count on redistricting, 43% of the Democrats, 17% in the areas that they need. So, like Ilhan Omar, I know District 5 is under possible redistricting, so she could lose her district. They haven't done it yet, but she could lose it. There's an AOC. I remember about a year ago they were talking about it. So it's definitely, I think that's coming up. Now, I don't know when, but I believe it's coming up soon, or soonish, right? So they definitely have a lot to work with and to contend against and to all that. They got a lot to deal with, like, rapidly. Let's keep it honest. Because they're going to try to implement a lot in 4 years, or try to undo what Trump did, this, that, they're going to try to push through a lot, but I don't know how much will actually ever come to fruition with as much as they would like to push through. And all of this kind of makes a bigger issue because Biden hasn't actually came out with any plans on what he's going to do as a president yet. Like, outside of what he campaigned on, he hasn't solidified anything. Granted, Trump and them aren't giving him any transition information, so he's not getting any actual classified documents, any of that, this, that, the other. He's not getting any of that. I can't really blame him. If I was in Trump's shoes and I thought you would have cheated you cheated to win, I don't think I'm going to play too easily or too fair with you either. And I think a lot of people are going to think the exact same way. Now, Republicans also need to win the Senate to shut down any of Biden's possible far-left ideas or legislation that he might want to put through. Now, he could still probably do executive orders, this, that, the other, but it could still get challenged and fought, this, that, the other, just like they did with Trump on basically every front. Now, the I'm trying to paint a bigger picture here, but the fact that they're both vying, like I said, they got the powerhouses, so they're both vying for these Senate seats in Georgia. Whether it's Tillis and Loeffler or Warnock and Ossoff or whatever his name is. Both of those have both of those Democrats have some pretty far left ideas. And Warnock had a pretty out there speech when he was comparing to, like, you can't be in the military and be right with God, this, that, the other. And now a lot of Democrats are going to come out on all fronts and try to save that, this, that, the other, but it's what he said. And I don't know if he's going to be able to walk that back, especially with a lot of people. A lot of the world believes in God. A lot of the world believes in Christianity. So I don't really know, and I know a lot of people in Georgia, I'm assuming, believe in Christianity, and probably weren't too keen on what he said. But what I'm getting at is the power vacuums are sucking beyond hard right now. You got everybody trying to make a play that puts themselves in some kind of position. Whether it's the right or the left. Whether it's the Senate or the Congress. Whether it's Trump or whether it's Biden. You got the power vacuums on both sides going right now. And like I've said before, a lot of people pick their sides weeks before the election, months before the election, or the day after the election happened. A lot of people jumped ship. A lot of people decided, like, nah, we're not rocking with Trump no more for this, that, the other reason. I'm going to get more into that, but my point is, the power vacuums, you got people that are shilling and grifting left and right to see what comes of it. Personal opinion, can't really blame them. I'm not a personal fan of it, but I'm not going to blame them. Do what you got to do. Now, one of the things is you got all these people vying for power, doing this, that, the other. But you have Biden claiming that he won basically a contested election. You have activist groups ramming what they want up his ass. You have elected officials pushing for basically what those activists are telling them to push for. So it's definitely going to get more wild and more wild as we get closer to the dates that these officials have to confirm. So whether it's December 14th or whether it's January 20th, a whole lot's going on and a whole lot's going to happen. And we're going to continue to see these groups try to push. We just got to see where it lands. Now, like I said, Sleepy Joe has yet to implement anything, or say he's going to implement anything yet at all, because he hasn't won anything yet. So he can't implement anything except what he thinks he can do, right? If he wins, but this is where, like I was talking about Patrisse Cullors in the beginning, this is where the Blaze reported that on her and how she wants the Breathe Act to be implemented. Now, she wants it implemented with the first 100 days. And I'm going to go over what the Breathe Act does and what it's about. Now, she's calling for Biden to enact extremely far left legislation that would lead to the abolishment of police and prisons and literally other radical proposals. So, Ayanna Pressley and Tlaib announced the Breathe Act back in I think it was July. Yep, July. It would be sweeping across the entire nation, the Justice Board, basically how the far left does things. It aims to bring basically like a revolutionary style change to America. The legislation calls for extremely drastic moves, the end of life sentences, no more mandatory minimum sentences. Kohler said that in Teen Vogue that this legislation would put us on the road to police and prison abolition. The Breathe Act demands that the dismantling of the DEA, ICE, Custom Border Patrol, immigration detention centers, along with demanding the repeal of federal laws that criminalize human movement and border entry. So she basically wants order. They're basically saying they want open borders. They don't want any more end of life. They don't want any more life sentences. They don't want any more mandatory minimums, so you can get caught with a gun as many times as you want, get caught as many times as you can, trafficking cocaine or whatever you can, and there's no punishment.